We're on. Good morning. Welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse AFA Daily Dose, everybody.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way, which in case you haven't know what that is, right?
Oh, it's absolutely fucking
the AFA way, Mark. What's the AFA way?
You're absolutely fucking amazing.
That's right.
Exactly as you are. There's nothing to change or to be better about.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get this. Today's Wednesday, December 2nd. 2020 is almost over. So, hey, let's go with the AFA message of the day. So on the Daily Love today, I took a quote from The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty. And it's all about self-love. And I talk about it in my book too. It really is like the root of everything, right? And so she says, self-love, when you self-love, that comes back to you tenfold, because when we actually manifest love for ourselves, we give our higher power, other people in the universe, permission to send us the love we want and need. That's all about self-love. And people get all hung up on it. They're like, oh, that loving yourself is kind of conceited. Like you should always care for other people first.
Well, here you go, right? So the plane, I always go back to the plane, right? When there's an issue with the plane and those masks come down, what do they tell you to do first?
Put your mask on first.
Right. So that way
you're no good to anybody else if you're not fully you.
If you're not fully you.
Oh my gosh. But it was a great reading. And it talked a lot about relationships and needing someone else to provide you with something that would make you whole and complete. And that's all illusion. When you love yourself, you have no need for anybody to be anything else other than who they are. And that's, I mean, you know my wife, I'm in an amazing relationship, the most amazing relationship of my life. And with you, my partner.
I know.
Amazing relationships, right? Because I don't have a need for you or my wife or anybody else to be anyone other than who they are, because I love me. I'm absolutely amazing on my own. And so are you.
I love it. You just totally make me smile. And it brings me back to the other thing that I learned is that the most important relationship you'll ever have with anyone is with yourself, right? Learning all aspects of mind, body, spirit.
Yeah. Sherry, who's the person that you talk to the most? You. Every day, the minute you get up, even in your sleep, you're talking to yourself. You're always talking to yourself. So you're having this dialogue and relationship with yourself. If it's not the best relationship ever, how can your relationships with anybody else be good?
That's so true. That's so true. The other thing too is when we learn how to love and nurture ourselves, we're showing other people how they can do that for themselves. And we're contributing as we heal ourselves. We help to heal others by being the demonstration.
Yes.
Right?
Love yourself. Melissa Faulkner, thanks for coming on. She says, been there, done that, wrote the book. New chapter is loving myself. Yes, because you're absolutely amazing, whole, complete, and perfect without anybody else.
There you go. There you go. Interesting thing too. I'm just going to get right to. I'm going to tell you it's interesting. So when I first started off on my journey and was, sick and, really I had to look at, because I was taking care of other people. So I need to look at how I took care of myself. And I needed to enter into that relationship with myself. The part that was really hard is I got very comfortable being alone. So that's the other thing. Really, really comfortable with being alone. And through meditation, Spirit said to me, ready for this one? Spirit said, in order for you to evolve, you must get involved. Involved with life.
Yeah.
So in other words, I was living this very, very, as I'm healing, I'm dealing with all of this medical stuff, mental, emotional, spiritual stuff, got really comfortable in my own world, but then I was shutting everyone else out. So Spirit said in meditation, in order for you to evolve, you must get involved. So I thought that was really powerful.
Love it.
So word of the day. What's your word of the day, Master Mark?
Oh, my word of the day is going to be right now, energized.
That's awesome word.
Completely energized.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
My word of the day is evolution, right? So we are constantly evolving every single day by the choices that we make.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we get back to, are we making choices? I'm just going to get back to the endocannabinoid system. Are we making choices to support and nourish our endocannabinoid system, which is our mind, body, and spirit?
Yeah.
Or are we not? So those are the questions we need to ask ourselves.
Right. And it is that triad. It's mind, body, spirit. So are you making choices that support, healthy choices that support your endocannabinoid system that affects all of those three domains? Because it really does.
Truly. So how are we taking care of ourselves today, Mark?
Ooh, oh man, I am on it today, Sherry. So I have been doing intermittent fasting. So I don't eat until 10 a.m. So I get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I don't have anything to eat till 10 a.m. So between 10 and 6 or 7 o'clock at night, that's my window when I eat. And you know what? I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I don't even notice it. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to have anything to eat till 10. I'm feeling good. I'm energized. And, I have lost a little weight. That's not what I was going for. I was just trying this out because I know that there's a lot of literature out there now that says that it's a good way to manage what you eat. So today I'm just being aware of that window in between 10 and 6. And of course, I'm going to exercise today because movement is so super important.
I agree. I totally agree.
What are you doing, Sherry?
Well, I'm going to get out and move today too. So I woke up really, really stiff. I have a chronic myofascial pain disorder. I get trigger point injections. I use all my cannabinoids, all my other health and wellness tool, but I woke up like I didn't exercise yesterday. I didn't move yesterday. So very, very interesting. So one of the things that I had to do was I could either take my time and try to work through it this morning, but because we had a show this morning, I decided to go for a little instantaneous relief. So I did a dab.
Nice.
Not going to lie. Here you go, everyone. This is my little nectar collector.
Yep.
Strawberry cheesecake. And what it actually did for me, and I don't dab every day, but when I do, I dab for a good reason. To break it instantaneously. I got it, broke it instantaneously, broke that pain. I was able to move a little bit, not consume myself with the discomfort that I was feeling. So it's cannabinoids are working on my mind, my body, and my spirit. Also reminded me, what didn't I do yesterday? Why did I need to take that dab? This is something that I don't do all the time. So I'm dabbing in the morning.
Yeah. What choices did you make yesterday that put you in a position where you found yourself having to dab, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's a strategy, it's a tool. And it broke that sort of pattern, right?
Totally. So the other thing, so this is going to lead into our next subject. So yesterday, I think I told you all, I went to go see the gastroenterologist and hadn't seen him in a while, but I needed to get my prescription for probiotics. And so it was very interesting going through my med list. I haven't seen him in a while because of COVID. So it had been almost 2 years. But anyways, the bottom line is we went through all my meds and literally, no, not taking them anymore. Had the discussion of cannabis. So he wanted to know what I was doing. So I was educating him on what I was doing. And I said, listen, what you did, the traditional system truly helped me 100%, about 50% of the way. And it was cannabinoids that bridged the gap from what I wasn't getting from traditional medicine.
Yeah.
And so he kind of looked at me and rolled his eyes. So what did I bring up? Guess what I brought up? I said, guess what, doctor? Did you know that the enteric nervous system and the central nervous system communicate with one another? And he goes, yeah, I knew that. I go, guess what system
regulates that?
Guess what system regulates that? He didn't know. So I said,
well, he hasn't been trained. I mean, in his defense,
I told him,
he had no education on this.
Exactly. And I told him that. And I said, listen, you know what? I've been a nurse for 32 years. When I started out on my cannabis journey as a patient, I didn't know we had an endocannabinoid system. So I directed him to the website. Make sure you go to the website. We've got lots of pot. So he was interested. But the thing that he said that really triggered me was there aren't enough studies.
That is absolute bullshit. There is no veracity in that statement. And that's the one you get from people. And the thing is, listen, it's understandable. They don't get it in school. They get none of it presented to them on a regular basis. They live within the world of pharmaceuticals are the only thing that we prescribe. And so all of the thousands upon thousands upon thousands, and I'm talking 20, 30,000 or more studies that have been done related to cannabis as a medicine, never get presented in their world. So they never are exposed to it. But that is a false statement. And of course, I mean, once you get into practice and you're doing your thing, especially if you've been in it for 20 or 30 years, you're not going to go and seek this information because it's not relevant to what you do every day, really, right?
Exactly. So he basically was just like, you're a miracle. And I said, no, I have an endocannabinoid system.
Yeah. That's what I said. I'm not a miracle. I applied science.
That's what I said. The miracle
science and medicine happens to be cannabis medicine.
Yes. The miracle is I didn't off myself. That's the miracle. The miracle is I allowed the plant, was patient enough to work with the plant and learn about my body so I could shift the perspective from sickness and illness to wholeness and healing.
Gave you quality of life. And Melissa commented, cannabis has given my boys back their quality of life. Mary Dalton says, I cured my glaucoma with medical marijuana.
There you go. That's amazing. That's amazing. So
there are studies that show that works.
Yes, it
now,
does.
We're going to talk real quick. Oh my gosh. We got 2 minutes to talk about a huge subject. We can go a little bit over, but
we'll go 2 minutes over.
We'll go 2 minutes over. So let's talk about FDA drug approval, right?
Yeah.
So cannabis, they've only approved Epidiolex, right?
Yep.
That's one. Well, there are a few others. There are a few other synthetic cannabinoids that they have approved over the years.
So this says the FDA has approved one cannabis-derived drug, which is the Epidiolex.
Yeah.
For seizure.
The rest of them are synthetic cannabinoids, which are far less efficacious. They just don't work as well as whole plant medicine.
Yeah. So what is there? Marinol, which is Drabinol. Syndrose, which is also Drabinol. Sesamet, which is Nabilone, and then Tivex, the combination of THC and CBD. Did you know, this is interesting, did you know the first approved cannabis-based prescription medicine in the world went to the UK on June 21st, 2010. So they approved for Tivex. That was the very first approved
combo, the THC CBD combo.
The THC and CBD combo. Yep. So interesting. So the problem with research on the cannabis plant itself is we know what? Cannabis contains over 400 compounds, over 100 cannabinoids, essential fatty acids, bioflavonoids, cannaflavins, terpenes in different ratios.
Here's the issue. Here is the root issue, Sherry. The FDA process of drug approval is wonderful for pharmaceutical medications. It does not fit a plant-based model. So when you start to talk about cannabis and psilocybin and these other plant-based, well, psilocybin's not a plant, it's like an animal plant hybrid. I mean, fungi are their own thing, right?
Yeah.
Fascinating, by the way, but they don't fit that approval model because they are so complex. But if you look at the safety profile, doesn't necessarily have to fit the model because the FDA is all about having safety.
Right.
So here's an example, Sherry. Olanzapine, which is an antipsychotic medication that they use for bipolar and they use for schizophrenia, right? That olanzapine was maybe effective 30, 40% of the time, maybe had a little bit of effectiveness. The FDA approved it. The company sold $6 billion worth of it, at its height. And now it's fallen out of favor because the safety profile is so fucking horrible. So horrible. Have you heard of tardive dyskinesia?
Yes, tardive dyskinesia.
So that medication, one of the side effects is tardive dyskinesia. Folks, if you don't know what this is, it's involuntary movement. So it's jerking, it's twitching, and it's permanent. Once you get it, you have it. And so one of the side effects of olanzapine was this. So you have a medication that's marginally effective, yet they sell $6 billion worth of it, and it causes terrible, terrible permanent side effects. Cannabis does not fall into that category.
So it's time that we get creative. So this is a perfect opportunity to invite nurses into the equation to help us to approve cannabinoids, right? So FDA, we invite you to consider cannabis nurses and cannabis experts that work on the endocannabinoid system to create these, because we're all about safety. Why are we doing what we do? We believe in the plant. We know it works. We're here to relieve suffering and improve quality of life. And we want to teach on the safe utilization of cannabinoids. This plant should be available to everyone to have the choice.
Absolutely. Different methodology. It's a different type of medicine. It's a different pathway. It needs to be something different. And who better? Yeah, Mary Dalton says Depakote left me with TD. Absolutely it did, because that's one of the possible side effects of using that medication. Now, we're not maligning the providers who are using this. Those are the only tools that they know how to use. And they truly do want to provide healing for everybody. I mean, in my journey with depression and mood disorder, I was on a lot of those medications, and it wasn't because the providers were making money off of it. It was because they wanted to provide healing, but it's all they know.
It's all they know. And that's what I said. That's what I said to this doctor. I said, you know what? I said, the traditional system failed you. And I said, I know, and it's not your fault. I said, it's not your fault. I said, so what did this do for me? This propelled me to go on a journey to figure it out. And so that's what we are doing here as nurses, is we are here to help you figure out how to make this plant work best for you. So if you or a loved one is suffering from chronic pain, chronic illness, or if you're cannabis curious and you're interested in learning how to incorporate this plant into a wellness regime, and even if you're curious about having a recreational experience, we can educate you on how to use that and incorporate this plant into your life for whatever your goals are. So visit us at www.thegreennurse.com. If you book any consultation with us, with or without a medical card, Nurse Mark is gifting everyone a free bottle of CBD. And the other thing that Nurse Mark is doing too, he has a sale while supplies last. Buy one CBD product, tincture, get one free. Really grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, happy to do it. Needs to be out there. Listen, if you're a provider and healthcare provider anywhere along the spectrum, doesn't matter if you're a massage therapist or you're a physician, if you're interested in learning more about cannabis as a medicine, join us in our community. We have a great mentorship program, and we will help you in your journey to actually use cannabis medicine to heal people. So
absolutely.
www.thegreennurse.com. All right. So Sherry, hey, listen, what are we going to do today? We're going to have an AFA day, baby. AFA day. And everybody out there, you should too.
Yes. And remember, everyone, what it's truly about, it's about living your best life and helping others do the same. Have an AFA day, and we will.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody that stopped by. Mary, Melissa, hey, thanks for listening in, and we'll see you tomorrow.